here is the news. Hello, welcome fans of Hammond for Hire. If you're not a fan of Hammond for Hire, please do not continue watching this. So, as people who read my blog will know, I've recently bought a Hammond M102 and the plan is to get it up and working and gig it, you know, because there's a lot of talk about it being the kind of the portable Hammond C3, and indeed a lot of the gubbins here is straight out of the C3, which I can see with the back off behind the screen. So I thought what I'd do is maybe let's do a compare and contrast. Let's see what the difference is between the C3 and this portable version, which is only 10 or 11 stone lighter than the C3, still coming in at a shocking 19 odd stone. So let's have a look at the difference, shall we? Let's switch it on. Had a bit of time to oil it now since I've bought it, so it's getting a bit quieter, although I appreciate with the back off and the top off. Might be a little bit louder. Okay, so what do you get for your money? Well, you get a bargain. This didn't cost a lot, a fraction of the price of the C that I bought. And it has a lot of the things that the C has got. Less drawbars, come on to that later, but there's only two banks. There's one bank of drawbar for the upper and one bank for the lower instead of the two that you get on the C. Bit of noise. Well, first of all, you've got internal speakers, right? So you've got two 12-inch speakers and I think it's a 10-inch reverb speaker. Separate reverb speaker, that's, you know, what guitar guys are doing now in boutiques and stuff, and it's all the rage, but this one from 1967 had its own one. Talk about the reverb in a bit. So, first thing is your speaker. There you go. I'll get those taken out if I'm honest. If I'm gigging it, I'm going to go through the Leslie 145 or something like that, and that's just a lot of weight that me and my roadie are going to argue about. So let's not have that. So let's go through it. The first thing you'll notice is that there are less keys. I've got 44 keys instead of your 61 that you get on your C3. So you have to think about when you're playing live whether that's going to be okay or not for you. You know, when you get down the bottom, that's the lowest you're going to go. And they're staggered. The keys are staggered, so you've got 44 on the lower manual as well, moved sort of an octave down in location, but not actually an octave. So you would hope really that you could come down here and then go down onto the lower and go a bit lower, but you cannot. They're on the same octave. So there's a compromise. That's something you've got to have a think about, whether you can handle that or not. You know, I think most of the work's done around there in a band maybe. So I don't know. The second thing I'd like to talk about is the vibrato. Now, the vibrato scanner is different on this one than it is, hello, where are we down there? Than it is on the C. So that is different. I'm not sure whether you can swap them out or not. Something I maybe have a look into, but they are fundamentally different. Switch it on. Okay, not awesome, is it? No, I mean, I see what it's trying to do. And again, you see that on the left hand there, I thought I was down lower than I was, you know. It's not wonderful. It's not wonderful, is it, you know? I know, I believe the M that was recorded on White Shaded Pale, there's a little bit of a vibrato hack you can do to make it sound a little bit better. That's not really a sound that I'm going to use. Let me know what you think. Okay, so the first thing we noticed then, less keys, internal speakers, vibrato is unusable, shall we say. Okay, let's talk about Fallback. Right, so on a C3, when you get to the final octave, the final few drawbars have got nowhere to go octave-wise. They go past, the dogs will be barking and the cats and what have you. Nowhere to go. So actually on the M there, don't know if you can hear that, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 keys are not making any noise on the top 3 drawbars. They are not folding back. Now what that means is when you're down on the lower octave, you get the full benefit of all of the drawbars that you want to put on. When you get to the top, see, it's a bit quieter, yeah? And that's because these 3 aren't doing the work. Now I think that's the problem. A lot of people are absolutely cool and fine with it, but if you're going to overdrive it, you're going to attack it a little bit, you're going to lose a bit at the top end there. So first thing I did, actually on the evening that I installed this back into the studio and got the back off, I went online and bought the Foldback Kit. The equipment's not even there, so you need to get Foldback to put in. So the C3 has it, this doesn't. So this is a mod that you're going to have to do if you want to get it closer to the C3. It's a bit quieter. So that's the upper manual dealt with. Now, what's going on here? Let's have a look at the lower manual because it's a little bit odd. Oh, hello. Some drawbars missing. What's going on? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the top, like you'd expect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom, but they're not the same either, are they? So, look, you can see brown ones are missing, typically 16 and 8, and there's another one at the top here. What on earth is going on? So let's have a look what's going on. Again, fold back goes, but there's a top one there, which is what? Not on the top drawbar, is it? So you've got an extra one at the top, black one, and you are missing 16 and 8. That typically sounds like 16 and 8 on the lower. That doesn't sound like 16 and 8, does it? The second drawbar in is different on the upper. So have to have a look at that, won't we? Have to see what that does, because that's going to adjust your playing style a little bit if the drawbars aren't what you expect on the C. Reverb, I guess, is the next thing to discuss. You've got fixed reverb here, and you have 2 settings. You have too much and ridiculous, and you can put them together to make it absolutely too much and ridiculous. So with that and reverb, excellent work. I mean, it's very nice. It's a spring, it's brilliant, it's just what you want. Possibly a bit much. Oh, but that was just on 1. Let's put it on 2. I mean, yeah, it's very nice, isn't it? But it's a lot. Oh, let's put them both on. Unusable. Okay, so what we're going to do with that? Well, we're lucky to have the reverb tank still in place, which is great. When I bought my C, someone had whipped it out and nicked it, the spines, and I'm going to have to go and get one put back in. So what we're going to do? Well, you have to try and find some kind of variable resistor and get a volume knob, aren't you, to make it worthwhile. No problem though, because you see on the M, big end cheek here, big end cheek there. You got loads of space to put loads of fancy stuff on, which is what we might do. We might get some. We'll definitely get a master volume, get a reverb volume, and maybe even a bespoke overdrive circuit. Something we can have a look at. So, in short, pedals we haven't discussed. Pedals, schmedals. I mean, there they are. They don't work very well. Need to look into that. The percussion is there, as you would hope. Works in kind of the same way. Switch that ridiculous reverb off for a second. So the question is, will it replace a C3? it will not replace a C3 for many things really, but I think the keys and the drawbar configuration will get in the way. There's no doubt about that. But can we make it good enough to gig live is the question. I think we probably can, but we'll have to wait and see. There's a fair bit of work to go after this, but even without the vibrato, there's still a bit of goodness going on here, you know. That sounds, well, it didn't, did it? But, you know, it could sound like the original, which was played on an M100 variant. So I think the sound could be there. Leslie spinning, tone wheel going, nice organic overdrive. You're going to get very close. I think the Fallback is important. That was about 90 quid for the parts. The fitting on top. If you have an M and you want the parts and you want the fitting, give me a call and I can hook you up there. And I think that'll make a big difference. So I think what we'll do, I'm running a separate video series on the progress that we make throughout the weeks and months getting this up to tack, but maybe I'll come back to it at the end and say, now that the project is finished, would you gig an M102 instead of a C3? I hope that was informative. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you stick around. Remember to click subscribe and notifications. It's really helpful for me. And if you have any requests other than, you know, for me to go, then please get in touch and let me know. I'll be happy to show you around anything there is here. And if I run out of skill, I'll talk to my electrician and technician, who is a marvel with these things, and we'll try and answer any question that you have. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you very much. Please join me again for the next instalment on Hammond for Hire. Thank you.